Good morning, everybody, and again, welcome to another webinar workshop. We're happy to present to you a brand new product coming live from Medico. Great company, great organization, and we've got our good friend Augusta Ratliff with us this morning, and she's ready to go. Just a reminder, if you need to get contracted, you can do that through your Sure LC contracting portal here at Messer Financial, and if you have issues finding that, give us a call at 866-568-9649. Just as a reminder, if you do have questions as we roll through the presentation, be sure to put those in the question box, and we'll do a Q&A with Augusta at the end. Really cool product that we're looking at today, guys, some upgrades, and I'm sure we'll talk about a number of things and how that relates to the older Medico product that a lot of you have placed business with already. But we're excited to hear about this, and I think Medico themselves are pretty excited about the changes they've made with this dental product. So as you know, a lot of opportunity out there. You should be checking in with your Medicare customers to make sure that the plan you enrolled them in is working well for them, that they've gotten all their information and cards, and if they've used that particular plan this year, what their experience has been like. In addition to that, we've also been given the new opportunity from the current administration with the expansion of the SEP for under 65 enrollments. So a lot of opportunities to cross-sell there. And Medico would be a great fit for you with doing some of that stuff on the ancillary side. So I'm sure Augusta will touch on that as we talk about the new product and how you can cross-sell with some of their products and some of the major medical that's going on right now throughout the country. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Augusta. And again, if you guys would, just put your questions into the question box, and we'll get to as many of those as we can as we close out the presentation with our Q&A session. Thanks again for joining us. And Augusta, take it away.
All righty. Well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you for having me on this morning. Hopefully you guys are having a great week. We are going to be talking about our brand new dental product today. We're going to talk a little bit about marketplace, a little bit about cross-selling. But like Jeff said, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask them. This is a brand new product, so I don't want you to leave here with your questions. So go ahead. Ask them. If there is something that maybe I'm just not 100% on, I will get an answer and follow up with Jeff later. I will be sending over a follow-up package. I will have all the slides that you see today as well. So if that's your question, then the answer is yes, you'll get your slides. All right, so let's jump in here. And before we can really jump in here, especially for those of you who are not contracted yet, a good question to ask would be, why Medico? Why should you be choosing us as your company of choice when it comes to dental or hospital indemnity or med subs, first diagnosis cancer products? We believe that we have quite a few reasons. First and foremost, we're a financially strong and stable company, which means that we have an A- rating, which is an excellent rating through AM Best, and that has been a steady rating for about 5 to 6 years at least. That's just as far back as I know, because that's when I came here. I do know that. And so I believe before then it was that way as well. We have a very proactive approach of doing business. And now I believe that this year we're going to have more of a proactive approach than we have in the past. Sometimes we were a little reactive more than anything. But this year, with our brand new dental coming out, and then after dental, and Jeff, this is new to you as well, we have new med sup coming out too. So that's kind of a little bit of an announcement as well. And then we're also going to revamp our hospital indemnity product. So we're really getting ahead of the curve on all of our products so that we are more proactive in the marketplace and maybe a little bit more top of mind than what people are used to at the moment. We believe that we have innovative tools for business development, and that is going to be that My Enroller. And we're going to touch on that because tomorrow morning, April 1st, there is going to be a update to that, so it's going to look a lot different. Still going to be super easy to navigate, but for those of you who are comfortable, it's just going to have a different colors. It's going to have some pop-ups. Some of the screens are going to look a little bit different for you. Now, one of the things that Medico can offer you that a lot of companies cannot is access to everyone, and that says to underwriters, but it's really to everyone. You have your sales team, which I get to be part of. Your customers have customer service. You also have agent services, and then you can get in touch with underwriting and claims. That's not a lot of things that other companies can say. They seem to outsource underwriters and claims department. However, we have them in-house, so if you need to call and talk to them, you could do that. However, usually with claims, I ask to be involved with that one just so I can follow up and everything afterwards and kind of stay in touch with our claims department, as sometimes they get overrun with business, so it's nice to be able to ask them about a particular one, and then I'm not really blindsided, so I'm actually helping you more. We believe that we're really developing those partnerships for future growth, like we are right now. This is development in a partnership, but with our products this year, it's going to help push that just a little bit more. Ultimately, it just makes doing business with us easier. So as we jump into our products, the first thing to ask is, why does dental coverage even matter? What's the whole draw to it, especially a standalone product, which is what ours is, and why do your clients need that? Especially thinking along the lines of Medicare clients or Med-Sup clients, this is where a lot of these things kind of come into play, but just the importance of good oral health. There's a lot of contributing factors that go into poor oral health. What those can be is respiratory disease, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, osteoporosis, Alzheimer's disease. A lot of times when you start talking about these things, people can relate. They know somebody, maybe it's their neighbor, their family member, their friend, somebody they work with. They know somebody that has one of these things. And if they can help link what there is to prevent them, like good oral health, then they're probably going to start listening just a little bit more on what you have to say when it comes to those standalone products and how you can help them. More than 70% of adults 65 and older have periodontal disease. Sorry. They have periodontal disease. And then according to the American Cancer Society, 62 is the average age for most people diagnosed with mouth, throat, and tongue cancer. So with that being said, it presents that first opportunity to talk about a cross-sell. We know that if we can get a supplemental cancer product into a household, we can help them with a lot of those indirect costs. When it comes to major medicals, they only cover about 40% of a total cancer diagnosis. So we have to cover 60% of that out of pocket. That's where a cancer product comes into play. So with that fact, you're now talking to them about two products, a dental product and a cancer product. And when we get more products in a household, we know that leads to higher retention. And then it's also going to lead to referrals, because you're helping educate your client. And referrals are what we ultimately want. It's the easiest form of business, correct? Usually, yes. Now, those Medicare limitations that we touched on just a little bit. The problem is people don't know about a Medicare limitation. They don't know what their product doesn't cover. They think they just got this awesome product. It's going to cover everything they need. But in reality, there's a lot that it is not, especially when it comes to dental. That's like the routine cleanings or dental services. That includes the cleanings, fillings, tooth extractions, or dentures. Now, I always consider this your opportunity group, because say AEP season, you're talking to these people no matter what. You're going to be reaching out to them. You're going to be talking to them. They need to be on some kind of health plan. It just gives you the opportunity. And now in the U.S., there's 52.6 million Medicare beneficiaries. That's age 65 and over. Your opportunity is actually to talk to them before they're 65. With dental being an issue age of 18 to 89, you can talk to them long before they turn 65 and build that relationship so that when they do, it's a no-brainer to call you, their agent. They're going to have you top of mind that way, and they're going to talk to you about the Medicare. And you can tell them how their plans they already have fit in there. Now, one of the biggest problems is that people, like I said, they don't know that that supplemental coverage is out there. They don't know the standalone product is out there. So they come off that group health at 65 when they retire, or their employer health, and they're not going to the dentist. So 40% of seniors have not had a dental visit in the past year. That leads to ER visits. It also leads to those poor oral health, so maybe the cardiovascular, the diabetes. But those ER visits, we know that Medicare Part A can only help pay for inpatient hospital care for an emergency or a procedure. So here's your second opportunity to start talking about cross-sell. If they're going to a hospital, and you don't know if they're going to go, but maybe it's not for a dental reason in the future, you can talk to them about a hospital indemnity. You can also do that before the age of 65, starting at 40 with our product. And then when they turn 65, hey, they now have a dental product and they have a hospital indemnity product. Now they're definitely going to come to you for that third product, which is what we ultimately want, is 3 products in a home. So we're talking to them about a hospital indemnity. If, hey, you know what, if you go to the dentist and something more is wrong and they have to send you on to a hospital, we're going to cover you there as well. You're saving them so much money when you compare it to the low premium of what those products are. But if they don't have these, what are they paying out of pocket? Average cost of dental services. This is the reason people aren't going, because they are not aware of that standalone. So then they see these prices and they're like, you know what, I just don't have that money right now. Think about most of the time if they're retired, they're on a limited income, so they might not have that money right now, so they put it off. Well, they put off a $65 x-ray. Now when they go back, they have the x-ray, maybe they have a root canal, or maybe it leads to dentures. So now you're in for a couple $1,000s, when if they would have just went the first time, it would have been covered easily, nothing out of pocket. They wouldn't be paying this $65 for the x-ray, $1,000 for a root canal, $1,100 for a bridge, and they can get that all covered the first time. So what does our plan look like? What are we going to be looking at here? Our plan is going to have two plans with it. It's a gold and platinum plan. And now before I go to the states that it's going to be available in on April 1st, so tomorrow, we are rolling out on a 3-tiered system. So our first tier is rolling out tomorrow, 11 states. And then we're going to roll out a second tier, and then we're going to roll out a third tier. With those second and thirds, we don't have an exact date yet, mainly because, as you guys know, when you're filing something, each state is different. Each DOI is just a little bit different when it comes to the day you can release it, how early you have to notify people, things like that. So it just takes a little bit longer. So that second rollout, we're thinking it'll be before AEP for sure. We're also thinking before end of summer, so that we have used that new product and that you're comfortable with it in whatever state. But the states you see in gold, those are going to be the new gold and platinum product plans states. The ones in blue, they're going to have dental, vision, and hearing plans. The ones we have right now, and the ones in gray, they're just not going to have anything. With that, the states that we have, we're actually adding 7 states. We have 33 currently, and starting tomorrow, essentially, we'll have 40 states that have our dental products. So a bigger opportunity group when it comes to states, and a better opportunity when it comes to products. So when we're talking about new products, obviously network is going to be one of the biggest questions. We're going to stick with the same network, actually. We think that we have one of the best. We have one of the largest dental networks nationally that focus on neighborhood dentists. That's that Maximum Care plus Connection dental network. We like that focuses on those neighborhood dentists because we find that we have a lot of rural areas that are being sold in, and this allows for those dentists to be covered. This just means that they can have any provider and receive coverage. They just get additional savings if they're using an in-network dental provider. Now, if you want to find a list of to help your client with their dentist, you can find that out there on that www.gomedico.com/policyholders. There's going to be, or you can just go to gomedico.com and go through the steps. You don't have to do the /policyholders. There's going to be a section that's called Dental Network, and you can put in their zip code, I believe, and it will bring up all the dentists around there. So let's dive into this plan. So you have the 2 plans. There's going to be an awesome way to save your clients some money. So there's 2 discounts that are available for your clients. The first one's going to be a spouse discount. So let's say that you have a husband and wife, and the husband gets the plan, and then the wife decides, hey, I actually want that too. There's going to be a 12% discount. It's one 12% discount. And then there's a multi-product discount, and that's if they already have a MedSup or final expense, or they're applying for a MedSup or final expense. They'll get a 5% discount. Now, that does mean that that product has to stay in place. So if they were to cancel that MedSup, unfortunately, they would lose the 5% discount, but it just gives them a better reason to keep more products in play with you as their agent. Now, we're also going to offer first aid coverage, which is very new for Medico when it comes to dental products. And then there's going to be 2 options for riders. The first one is called a buy-up rider. And what this means is, let's say they purchase the Gold 1000 plan. They can purchase or buy up another $1,000, and they have $2,000 automatically available to them. The other one is a calendar year maximum carryover rider. Now, the first thing you're going to notice there is that calendar year. If you're familiar with our current products, it is policy year, so we're changing that a little bit. So let's say you sell this plan during AEP. So you're talking to those AEP clients. Most likely they're not going to use this product by the end of the year unless they already have something kind of going on and they know they need to go get it checked out. Then they might. But let's say you sell it to them in the middle of November and you sell that Gold 1000 plan and they buy this rider and they get to the December 31st and they have $1,000 left. They can carry that $1,000 into the next year. That will max out at $3,000, so they can't carry it for the next 5 years or so and have $5,000. It will max out at $3,000. If they use half of it, so they use $500, they'll carry over the $500, however much they have left. The thing to note is that word or, these riders are either or, not both. They can have one or the two. And if you're going to wonder how much they cost, I'm going to show you a really awesome marketing piece here in just a little bit. That's going to show you that. Extremely affordable rates, issue ages 18 to 89, same as they are now. And the thing that you'll note right here is applications are only accepted electronically. That's going to be for both dental plans. So the new one, the Gold and Platinum, and that one that we currently have in place with the DVH plan, as of tomorrow, applications will be accepted electronically. So just make sure we're very comfortable with the MyEnroller. So what does this plan look like? Let's dive into it here. Really, there's not a lot of differences between the Gold and Platinum plan here. The biggest difference is going to be down there at basic services. And what that means is that Medico is going to pay 80% co-insurance on basic services after the $50 deductible on the Platinum plan. And then on the Gold plan, we're going to pay 50% of the co-insurance. So that $50 deductible, that's different than what we have now with the $100. And then $0 on preventative. So preventative is going to have first day coverage and first dollar coverage. That's also very new for us. Routine checkups are going to be covered at 100% with no deductible. That's unlike the current plan. And then like we touched on basic services, also new to this plan is first day coverage on major services. So what that means is for the first 12 months, the first year after the $50 deductible is met, your client will pay 80% co-insurance. Medico will pay 20%. In the second year, there's going to be a 50-50 split. So they'll pay 50% and we'll pay 50%. With the new policy, crowns are going to be covered every 3 years and implants every 3 years as well with no inside limits. That means 1 per 3 years. That's different than the current plan because it is 1 per 7 years. Okay, so if you have questions on this, I do encourage you, get them over there to the chat box because we're going to move over to our MyEnroller and just touch on it really quickly because you're probably pretty familiar. But if you're not contracted with us, you haven't got to use our awesome MyEnroller. MyEnroller can be used on desktop, laptop, or tablet. It's a quoting and app processing unit. So you can quote and send them the PDF or print off the PDF and then come back and finish your application, or you can sit there and do your application all in one right then. It works with or without internet connection. So I'm not sure where you guys are in the whole COVID thing. If you're going back out to houses and working with clients, I hope you are. I hope you get to do that. If you are, sometimes they might not have the best Wi-Fi. I always think of my parents in this situation. You can sit in their living room and have perfect Wi-Fi, but if you go upstairs, you don't have Wi-Fi at all. So it really just depends on what part of the house you're in. And you guys might experience that as well. You don't have to be on Wi-Fi to go ahead and write your product. It's just when you get back to a trusted Wi-Fi, so like your office or your house, you can submit it then into underwriting, and it gets through very, very quickly that way. We do automatically update overnight. So like tonight is a very good example of that. It will update completely, and tomorrow morning, you're actually going to have a brand new MyEnroller, so that's pretty exciting. And then we accept multiple forms of signatures. We have e-signature in person and not in person. The not in person, you can email that to them. They just have to have their phone number and birth date to get in and sign it. And then you have the voice authorization. The voice authorization is using your phone. You can use a cell phone or office phone. You just conference call you both in, and the MyEnroller tells you how to do all of this. And they also give you a prompt to read so that it entices your client to give yes or no answers, so nothing gets misconstrued. And then that's attached to their application and on their file for them. Now, To download this, you're going to go out to what we call MIC, Medical Information Center, that website right there that you see. And then you'll come over here to the right-hand side where it says My Enroller, and it's going to give you your options. Now, if you are one of them that had the MacBook at the end of last year and you weren't able to use the online version, we will have a brand new online version starting tomorrow morning for those MacBooks, or actually you can use it with anything now. We're going to start encouraging you to go ahead and do the online version. So like I have a Lenovo laptop, I'll go in and download the online version now. But we have the My Enroller, the iPad, and then the new one. And you can already see how those look different right there. So when you open them, this is how it will look starting tomorrow. So just a whole new color scheme. You'll have your username and login. It will be the same that you use as your MIC website. If you are new to Medico, it will be the same. You just have to have your agent number to go ahead and get that. I can always get that for you very easily. When you're writing a MedSup, you're going to see these pop-ups right here that says, when you add a dental plan to this Medicare supplement policy, your client can save 5% discount on the dental premium. You'll see it twice throughout as you go here. Even if you say no, you don't want that, if you close it, you're still going to see it. I know sometimes pop-ups can be annoying, but it's just to save your client some money in the long run. All right, so how are we going to sell this plan? We have some awesome marketing plans coming out to you, or marketing pieces, sorry. You are going to have access to our highlight sheets that are going to be the English and Spanish versions now. So I'm not sure how much of the Spanish market you guys are in out there, but you will have access to a Spanish highlight sheet. So maybe that opens up a brand new opportunity group for you. And then you're going to have a new brochure. And I'm actually going to show you the brochure on here because there's a really great piece in here for you to talk to your clients about. And that is right here, this cost per month that you guys see. With that cost per month, this is something that we get to offer you that we've never done before, put on a marketing piece, is what it's going to cost your clients. So a Gold 1000, you're looking at $36.80, $1,500, $46. And then we're also going to do the same down here for the riders. With the riders, the buy-up rider, you're looking at about $12 per month. And then the calendar year rider, you're looking at about $8 per month. Also going to remind your clients the 5% discount and the spousal discount. That's the new brochure. You can also order hard copies of all of these now. They are available out there on MIC if you would like to. Otherwise, I will send over a toolkit to download them all in a PDF. All righty, so before I hand you back over, we have one more thing, and that is our new incentive program that's coming out. Starting tomorrow until June 30th, we do have a dental incentive. So any dental product, there's no minimum number of applications required. And so if you write one product, it's $20. If you write 16, like our example over here, it's $320, so $20 per application. This is agent services phone number, but Jeff will have mine, and when I send over that follow-up package, you guys can all have my phone number if you need to get a hold of me. Since North Carolina is my state, my territory state, you can always reach out to me along with my email address. It'll all be on there. Don't forget about your MIC website. Go out there, explore, download some new marketing materials. But if you do need to reach out to agent services, they are like the in-person version of the MIC website. All right, I'm going to hand it back over to you, Jeff. And if there's any questions, we'll get them answered.
Yeah, thanks for that, I guess. So we do have a couple questions, and we'll touch on this. As far as Chrome or Edge, what's the best one or preferred, if you can go back and touch on that for us for a minute with the My Enroller as we're moving into electronic only applications?
Yeah, I believe that we push Chrome. I'm about 90% sure because all of our other things work on Chrome better. So if you can go in and download it on there, it would be the best.
Awesome. I've got a question for you. If I've got an existing customer on the Medico plan now and I want to roll them over, what's the process for doing that?
So when you go into My Enroller and you start writing it, so you'll go in like you're going to write them a new policy. There'll be a question that says, do they have a dental product in place now? And you'll just push yes, and you'll put in their Medico policy number, and it will know to cancel that one and write the new one. Just like when we did the update for hospital indemnity a few years ago, that's what they did on that one too. And the new, or their existing policy number in there, and it will know what to do with it that way.
Awesome, awesome. Can we go back over some of the pricing for the plans, Gus?
Yes. Yeah. I'll just bring up that, bring up that brochure again.
Okay.
So I have it open. All right, so I believe you guys can see that. There we go. So here you can see the cost per month. This is what we're going to hold steady at. This is one plan, that's why it has that star right there. So this is assuming that you haven't added any discounts, haven't added on a spouse, or the multi-product discount here.
Excuse me. And as far as the buy-ups, what would that look like again from a pricing standpoint? And will that be consistent among all the states that are being added,
Yep.
Gus? You said in the 3 different rollouts?
Yep, so this is going to hold steady. I mean, as far as we know, nobody has come back and said, no, you have to change that piece. And so as far as we know, this is what it will be. Buy-up will be about $12 per month, and the calendar year rollover one will be $8 per month, or $7.97, but $8.
And again, to be clear for everybody that's attending today, this is an either or, correct? I can't do both. I've got to make my decision on which one I want to do, right?
Yep, it is either or, and it actually says it here too, just to remind them, you may choose one of the 2 additional, just as a quick reminder on there, but yes, it's either or. And I actually think the carryover benefit is going to be your biggest one.
Yeah, I think so too. That's pretty good, just in case that you don't use the benefit of that year to have that roll over to the next one. That's really nice. Other question for you: if I'm on a dental plan, if I'm on a dental plan with one of your competitors, does any of that wait time get waived as far as what we're looking at with you guys? If I have proof of coverage?
Unfortunately, no. That's the one thing that didn't get changed from this plan. It is not, but you do have first day coverage on everything. So the only thing you're actually waiting on is if you want more coverage on the major services in that second 12 months. But I mean, you don't have any waiting periods anyways.
Okay, perfect. And let's go back and look at the bonus right quick, because I know that's something that really gets the agents excited. If you want to pull that one back up and talk a little bit about it as well.
I'm gonna go right here to it. So starting tomorrow, it'll be $20 per application, per dental application. So today is the last day to get in hospital indemnity applications if you want some extra cash on those. No minimum number, which is kind of new for us. So if you write 1, it's $20. If you write the 16, you're going to get $320.
Perfect. And Gus, I know you and I talked a little bit about the cross sales and how important that is for agents. And you talk to agents all over the country. Some of the best agents with you guys work with us, and some are with other organizations right now. But could you share with us some of the thoughts or ideas that they use to present this when they're in a home with somebody that's maybe under 65 and even over 65, how they present it?
Yeah, so actually some of the points that I touched on earlier, those come from agents. I don't sell, so when I ever talk about cross-selling, it's always something that agents have told me. A lot, like with the dental plan, how we're talking about 62 is the average age for mouth, throat, and tongue cancer. Well, if our dental is available at age 18 and our cancer plan is available at age 18, it makes sense to pair those so that if something were to happen like that, they're going to have basically double the coverage. As you guys know, we don't coordinate benefits with anybody, so they can have our product and have another product, and we're going to pay on that. Along with the hospital indemnity. The hospital indemnity one, I believe, is probably the easiest one to cross-sell because no matter what you look at, there's probably something in there it's going to cover. So we start talking about dental, and it was something that an agent brought to my attention is you guys are talking about ER visits, but you're not talking about a hospital indemnity plan, which covers the ER visit. And, well, yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer. If they go into an observation unit or they're admitted into the hospital, it's still going to be covered in that aspect. And the premiums are going to be low enough that you can pair those plans together and still cover what needs to be covered that way. You're still saving money by having a dental plan and a hospital indemnity plan when it comes down to co-pays or deductibles or what a Medicare does not cover. By having those plans, you're going to end up saving money that way. The Medicare limitations and misconceptions slide that we had on here is also a great piece just to have. So when clients start talking, hey, I have this, I have that, okay, but do you know what's not actually covered here? And by just pointing out the gaps, almost lets you cross-sell that way with the dental product, especially a dental product, and the hospital indemnity product. But like I said, anything that I ever talk about cross-selling wise, it comes from agents. I don't just make that up because then I know it's actually working. I know it's valued expertise, I'm using air quotes here, that can be useful for you guys that way. But just find bits and pieces like the cancer that can lead to, you can talk about a standalone product, or you can talk about the cancer rider on the hospital indemnity. If there's going to be any kind of ER visit or a hospital visit, automatically start talking about a hospital indemnity product that way. And you're talking about the two products, because the retention rate, as you know, if you can get two products in a household, you're at about a 56% retention rate. And then if you can get up to 3 products, you're at a 95% on average retention rate of keeping that client for life. So you're always pushing to get just one more into that household, but you want to tell them how it's going to help them in the long run, not just say, hey, here's a product, you should have it. How is it actually beneficial to them? So I hope that helps.
That's really good information. Also, for those of you out there that have been somewhat focused on Medicare Advantage plans, remember we've got a lot of veterans out there that may be on MA only, and they are always looking for DBH benefits while they may have their drugs covered through the VA. There's also the plans that are out there with the Part B givebacks, and sometimes those plans are a little bit skinnier on the benefit side, so a couple of these plans from Medico would be a great fit and a great way to use some of that Part B premium that they're getting back every month in their check. Along with that, you've got some great benefits here that we talked about as far as the discounts. Can you go back over the discounts and how those work for us, Augusta?
Yeah, so there's a spousal discount. So like I said, like there's a husband and wife. If one of them has it and the other one gets it, they'll get a 12% discount. And then there's a multi-product discount. So if they have or are applying for a MedSup or a final expense, they'll get a 5% discount. So up to 17%. Essentially.
And we'll just take care of that as we go through.
And they can get both of those. That's not an either or. They can have both.
Okay. And we take care of that in the application process, identifying that?
Yes. Yes, it actually, so I'm sure you're familiar with the MyEnroller. On that first screen, when it comes up and you select your products, it's going to, the new thing it's going to have is it's going to say add spousal discount, add multi-product discount, and you're going to be able to do both of those right there. And it's going to automatically show the discounted price for them.
Let's see as we scroll down through here a little bit more. I think that pretty much has got us as far as the questions from the brokers. And again, folks, if you have additional questions, please call in and ask to speak to one of your marketing directors. They'll have all the information that we've shared today with Augusta. And I want to thank her for her time. She's up a little bit earlier than we are here on the East Coast. I know some of you are on Central Time as well. And for those of you that joined us from the West, thank you again for getting up even earlier to be with us today. If you've got questions, please give us a call here at 866-568-9649. We'll be happy to help you get contracted as soon as possible. And Gus, just let's go over that for just 1 second. Are we just in time, or do we need to wait till we get our Medico writing number before we put that information and plan out there?
We have just in time.
Okay. So keep that in mind, guys. We'll want to make sure that that we get that contract and we've got some business to write, and we'll get you fully appointed. So again, if you've got questions, reach out to us here at Messer Financial Group. Happy to go over any other details with you, and we'll get an email out to you in the next couple of days. Obviously, we're on a little bit of a short week as we say goodbye to March and welcome the Easter weekend, and hope all of you have a very safe and happy Easter. So with that, we're going to close it out today, give you a couple of extra minutes back to your day. Gus, thank you so much for joining us. And again, if you have questions, give us a call here, and we'll be happy to get you that information and get you contracted with a great carrier. Be safe, be happy, and we hope everyone has a pleasant and fun Easter. And take care, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.